ReCore. Let's talk about it, Brad.
ReCore.
Yep.
That's what I brought.
Yeah. All right.
That's all I have.
ReCore. It's out now. It's $40. Thanks for watching.
ReCore.
This is the PC version of ReCore.
Yeah.
This is one of the first, or I guess the
They're calling it the first Play Anywhere.
The first Play Anywhere game.
Even though Quantum Break also came out on PC?
Quantum Break came out on the PC, but they sent you a separate code for it.
Yeah.
So this is the first time where it's been
release.
like, hey, one purchase gets both without any messing around or anything like that.
You just own it in the Windows 10 store and on Xbox One.
Yeah. So I'm playing. You finished the game.
I did finish it last night.
And
I finished it last night.
I'm here, I guess, about 4 hours in, from the looks of things.
I finished it last night.
11 cores.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Let's just jump right into it. Knowing where you're at in the game. Man, there are so many great things about this game.
There are a lot of things I like about it, and in being 4 hours in, I am enjoying it a great deal.
Yeah.
But everything I've seen from you playing it and hearing about how the rest of the game goes, I am dismayed.
I want you to finish it. I have to hear what you think after you have finished this game.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed the first half or so of it.
Yeah, so far, immediately I was like, man, this is a pleasant surprise. What a great throwback kind of game. It's like this weird, feels like a PS2 or Xbox game or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Jewel. I've got this gun. I've got these robot friends. I can take 2 robot friends out into the field at a time.
Yep.
Some of them have traversal abilities, like the robot can climb on little things. The ape can, ape frame can smash things. The dog can dig.
Yep.
I also just got.
Yes.
Or no, maybe I didn't actually get it yet. No. Okay, I don't have it yet. Okay, I do not have the 4th frame just yet.
Oh, well, if you're where I think you are, you're about to get it.
I'm about to get it. So
we could just go get it. If people watched my stream on Monday, this is a similar spot in the game, but
yeah,
that footage came out pretty rotten. So
that stream went raw.
It's not going on the site. So
let's just run out of the crawler here and just run around the early area just to talk about combat a little bit before we. Let's see here. I want Seth and Duncan.
Yes,
that would be Ape Frame and Spider Frame.
For where you're at in the game, that is the right call for sure.
I don't need to do much digging. I'm more about.
Yeah, the digging is the one kind of disposable ability because the others, in all cases, the other 3 frames have abilities that let you get places, and the digging is not like that. So
yeah. So there's a lot of sand. I wouldn't call it an open world game. This is more of an overworld.
Yeah, like almost Zelda style.
Yeah,
overworld.
And so you've got dungeons, you've got side dungeons, treasure chests on the map and stuff like that. A few things to do. Some of these side dungeons you can see, some of them are traversal based, some of them are more combat focused.
Yeah.
I went into one combat focused dungeon and got my ass kicked, so I left.
They all have level requirements on them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's typical RPG stuff. The enemies just are giant bullet sponges if they're way higher level than you.
So the enemies are color coded.
Yep.
You can see that these ones are red. So I'm gonna push right on the D-pad so that I'm shooting red damage.
Yep.
And when you match damage, you do more damage.
Yep. And then you yank out their core.
Then you yank out the cores. So you see that line on their power meter. Brad, you know this. But for the folks at home, those are low level guys. So they're just getting murdered.
Seth had other ideas.
I have leveled up. I've spent some time leveling up Seth. So,
but it's kind of a neat trade-off though, because if you yank out their core, those cores turn into effectively like upgrade juice.
Yeah.
Like you can just turn that into raw stats. But if you don't yank out their core, then they drop loot or crafting materials, I should say, which you craft into loot.
Yeah, there are blueprints that are so the loot is all for the robots.
Right.
So each one has 4 parts, like a head, legs, different sensor, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you upgrade those. I might have gone back to upgrade his frame with stuff. Now that I think about it, I might have gone back to the crawler to do that. But we'll go back to the crawler again before we head out on what we're actually going to be doing to move forward. So the story is, I guess, like you woke up on this crawler and you're a maintenance person, but there's supposedly a bunch of humans in cryostasis somewhere in orbit, and this planet is supposed to be being terraformed.
Yeah, broadly, like there was a plague on Earth, it was wiping out humanity, so they devised this last-ditch effort they found a planet, they sent like the remainder of humanity there in cryosleep, and they're all orbiting the planet, waiting for you to terraform it.
And these pylons are key to that effort. One of the first things you do is get this pylon back in working order.
But you kind of wake up like way after things were supposed to have turned into like a nice, lush garden world.
Yeah.
And that did not happen, so it's like, oh god, something went real wrong with all these robots, and that's who you're fighting. It's a cool idea, and they get into it in some interesting ways, but well,
yeah,
I won't get too deep into that.
You can climb up stuff in a way that seems like you shouldn't be able to, like I just did.
Yes, there's a lot of that.
And so there are a lot of canyons and stuff like that on the sides. Okay, so that's a head for the flyer, which is a frame I don't have yet.
Yep.
It seems like you can get up really high, and it seems like almost like a slapdash kind of like, hey, let's get this game out the door sort of move. They did the thing that Bionic Commando reboot did, and just slapped a bunch of radiation in, like, oh, there's radiation up here, look out.
Yes, on this totally unassuming little cliff that's like 10 feet above where you were just standing.
Yeah,
if you jump up
murderous
here,
radiation.
you will die in 3 seconds.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I haven't really belabored the point too much yet, but there are more rough edges in this game than I have seen from a game from a major publisher in a very long time.
Yeah,
it's really staggering how many.
Yeah, seeing some of the stuff, and I'm relatively early on here, so like I'm still in this kind of honeymoon period of like it seems fine, but well, that's like the thing. Watching you play some of the game, like it's fucked up.
And it gets way worse later on. That's the thing. Like I was having a really good time with it at this point, and it's pretty well put together up until somewhere around the 6-8 hour mark.
Yeah.
And then it kind of falls apart.
Yeah. So there's not that much to do out here. Those chests and stuff that we found, and those are key because those blueprint parts are kind of unique. Like those don't randomly drop.
They're good about marking all that stuff on the map. Like, you don't have to really find any of it. You just, it's just there.
Yeah. All right, here's another pretty low level. We'll do the tug of war here if we can. So if I can just extract and then I start. Oh, I didn't actually
quite there. There it is.
So we extract and then we hold down to pull. It'll glow red and white, and if you go too far, your line will break. So you kind of have to feather the right stick a bit to get what you want. But yeah, out here there's not really that much. Like it's why I say it's not really an open world game because there's not that. It's not like full of side stuff.
Right.
Like things aren't erupting around you like, oh, video game things to do.
Right.
It's more that like, hey, there's a dungeon marked on the map and that's technically a side thing, but actually because of the way the game is structured, you should absolutely do that thing.
In fact, you will have to do most of the game.
Yeah, right. And you get, by virtue of the spider having kind of a traversal ability, which we haven't seen any of those tracks yet. I think there's some around here. There's almost a Metroid-ish kind of ability thing of like, oh, now I can go to this area because I have this thing.
Yeah.
But it's very light. It's very light with that stuff. It's not really, I'm not like getting. Now I've got a ball. I can roll up a ball. Do this. Now I can do that. There's not a ton of abilities.
Yeah,
like, you tell me, but like I thought for a while, like, oh, maybe I'll get the ability to double dash or triple jump.
No, nothing like that ever happened.
Yeah.
You know the trick about dashing off of edges,
I saw
right?
you doing that, and I didn't realize that you could do that. That's
not only is it super useful. I mean, all it is that you're getting a second dash in midair because you didn't technically jump.
Right.
But not only is it useful, but there is platforming late in the game that basically makes you do it.
I don't know why that guy disappears when I jump up.
Oh, ReCore, yeah. Oh, man. In spite of everything, I still like this game, but...
Yeah, okay.
You go dash.
Yeah. Your health recharges, it's not really, but it also melts away pretty good. So this is the track you can use with the spiders.
Ooh, I never found this one. Okay, I wonder where this goes.
And there's a lot, like this stuff is cool.
Yeah, the first time you do this, you're like, wow, it's a really good
it's like
effect.
that feeling of like, I had no idea there's some of that radiation there.
Just randomly. Oh, no, okay. Ooh.
It just leads over here.
Oh, that wasn't especially useful at all.
No, but I wonder if there's like if I jump off that track at some point, if there's
something.
There's radiation up there. So
check the map. There might be the map. So
I've not figured out how to get to this dungeon.
Oh, I never even found that one. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, that little green plug icon there means you need to find those little battery robots to make it open up. It might be down at the bottom of this or something. I guess I never walked over here to reveal that icon.
Yeah. So this lock-on targeting is like, it's left trigger to lock on, you use the right stick to kind of move around. So the game's more about kind of dodging attacks and dealing with the aftermath of those attacks than it is about like aiming and shit.
Yeah, it's not even really I wouldn't call it like you're your average third-person shooter because it's not about shooting. Or rather, it's not about lining up a target.
Right.
And pulling the trigger. It's more about evading and managing your robot abilities and your damage types and stuff like that. I like it. I thought the combat was really satisfying, and I never got like.
Yeah, it's not difficult. I guess I would say that. Like it's not like there's not a huge skill to the shooting.
Yeah, it does get quite a bit more complicated later on when they start piling on different types of enemies and damage types and stuff. And also, like you'll just start hitting enemies that are just a lot higher level than you, and that makes it harder.
Okay. Well, why don't we go back to the crawler? And then we'll go to where we're going. We'll move forward in the story here.
Sure.
And I'll make sure it flickers like that when you go back to the crawler. I don't know why.
Yeah, it didn't do that on the Xbox for me, just on PC. The Xbox version of this game is substandard, I would say.
I think it's just the textures look real rough.
Yeah,
the loading times are
the loading times and
crazy.
And the frame rate are the problems on the Xbox. The loading times are bad enough that they came out and addressed them after people were upset about them.
Okay, so I don't have enough parts. I don't have enough worn ape gaskets to build any of these parts here.
For whatever reason, I consistently did not have enough ape parts throughout the entire game.
Well, you typically get ape parts from fighting ape
maybe
enemies, and I haven't seen a ton of those yet.
Yeah, I guess they just never threw that many ape enemies at me because I never really.
And I guess the part of the idea is you could get out and farm those if you know, like
if you know where.
We know there's some guys over here. You could do that, but like there are set bonuses with this stuff.
Yeah.
So
that stuff's cool. Like all this crafting and RPG stuff is extremely engaging.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
If you hop into Core Fusion, you can kind of.
Oh yeah. All the cores you're harvesting then filter into this stuff, so you can kind of build up these stats, these base stats, and then additional stats are provided by the gear you strap to the robot frames. So let's level up Duncan a little bit, I guess. He's the guy I got most recently. Put some blue into him, a little more energy. I'm not sure what energy does.
It governs the use of their their special attack. The thing where you hit Y when you're targeting.
Which they call a lethal, but it is usually not lethal.
Yeah, it usually just does a lot of damage, but I forget exactly what the mechanic is there. It's something about how fast it recharges or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's fairly straightforward, but then
these are the parts used for crafting. They come in qualities.
Yeah.
So you get worn, sturdy, and pristine.
It is really frustrating that it doesn't automate the process of combining and separating these when you're crafting.
Can you actually do that? Okay.
You can.
I
So like if you hit A on those worn pistons, you can combine them into sturdy pistons.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're looking at a crafting recipe that you want to make and you didn't have enough sturdy pistons in your inventory, it would not automatically combine those into sturdy for you.
Yep.
You have to remember what part you need at what quality, go into the stash, do it yourself. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of little UI oversights like that in this game. Like the map, you can't zoom in the map nearly as far as you would like.
Right.
You can't. It doesn't show most of the content icons here or the activity icons here, but. In some spots, the icons really pile up on top of each other, and you can't really see what's what because you can't zoom in far enough.
Yeah. Okay, so we're off to the Shifting Sands, which is the area I'm supposed to be in.
Yes.
So this is actually for me. This was kind of a difficulty spike here.
It gets hard here, and then there's like one more spot toward the end of the game where the enemies kind of spike again.
Around some of this stuff here. So, those enemies are kind of laying down that fire that you kind of want to jump over or get out of the way of. Cool. And if you get hit, each of the colored enemies does different attacks.
Right.
So you have to like mash to get out of the kind of molasses.
Yeah, the yellow will slow you and you have to mash. Red sets you on fire and you got to dash. Blue stuns you and you have to waggle. I found toward the end of the game I had a massive surplus of the currency that the cores get you, and not enough of the crafting material.
Yeah, that's been my experience with most of the game.
Yeah, so I basically stopped extracting for the last like 3-4 hours of the game and just killed everything so I could get the crafting materials instead.
Yeah. The extraction stuff also factors into boss fights. You have to extract the bosses, or they'll regain health. So that's a little twist on it.
It took me a while to realize this. I don't know if you know, but I don't know if it's regular extracting does this or just the instant extract that you get as a bonus once in a while, but that gives you a bunch of health back.
Oh.
And later on they start, oh, you should go get that. They start throwing you into a bunch of like combat arena type scenarios.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, you have to fight for 5 minutes here and kill everything before we'll open the doors. And some of those can get pretty tough, so that health boost is useful.
Ah. What have we here? Oh.
One of these guys. Watch where he goes.
All right, see ya. I hope there's a door over there that you're opening.
Yeah, if you look on the map, I'll show you where it is, and I bring this up because I never found the fourth one of those to open up this dungeon. If you just open the map real quick, you're facing it.
Yeah.
It's that one.
This one here? Yeah.
I found 3 of those robots that will go open that one up. I never found, I spent like an hour trying to find the 4th one around here.
Yeah, and sometimes they're buried in a way that makes you have to use the dog to dig them up.
Yes, that one might have been buried.
Kind of, yeah, that stuff's a little...
I mean, it's fun when it's not super tedious to find them, but
yeah.
If you can't find the last one, it sucks.
Yeah, it seems like maybe there should be like a radar ping or just a mini-map or something that will at least kind of point you roughly in the direction and stuff like that.
It badly needs a mini-map and or like a waypoint feature. Just a way to mark and keep track stuff in the environment without having to get back into that map.
So you can also charge up your shot.
Yeah, I use that constantly.
Forgot about that until just right now.
Yeah, it'll usually take down their shields in one shot.
Oh.
If they have shields.
Alright. That guy. Let's do this one now.
If you go across that bridge over there. There's something on the other side that is important to touch on. You haven't been through here at all yet?
I have.
Or
This
just
is where you
barely?
get the
Yes,
right?
okay, yeah, I know where you are. Yeah, that's right.
You go over here and you can't get through,
and he
then you have
bashes
to
the
go
door
do that,
for you. Yeah.
and then
Did you?
go
Well,
there.
maybe you did this already.
Yeah, I think I did.
Did you get this
stuff over here?
There's a core right around here somewhere.
I may have gotten it. So you see, this enemy has both colors, so we have the opportunity to pick whichever you want to do, and then it'll eventually burn off the shield. And I'm gonna die.
Yep, I totally also died on this encounter. This one sucks. There are certain mixes of enemies that it can be really easy to just get kind of stun locked by their special abilities, and it's not great.
Oh, well. Oh, wait, my...
You're burning. Yeah. I love that the robot will get kidnapped sometimes.
Ah, shit.
So do you have Duncan?
Yeah.
Slam on Duncan here. Yeah. I love that effect. I love how your other robot will just like fly down out of the sky when you summon him. Also, Duncan is just a real bruiser.
Yeah, like I just got him, so I haven't really
Okay, if you don't have
much yet.
if you don't have any gear equipped on him yet, he won't have great stats, but
I have a couple of things on him.
okay.
Okay. Is that something? No, there's a
Check your map real fast.
chest up there.
Maybe you got that core here already.
Yeah, I already went up there and... Oh, the core? Yeah, I think I did.
I thought there was one buried in the sand here, but maybe not.
Well, I don't have any way to get it anyway.
Or not buried, but there's like it's a little repeatable thing they do.
Oh, the little sphere
Just those
thing
little orbs that you go up and activate.
Yeah,
and
I think I did that over
Okay,
here.
you probably did that one already.
Okay, so to get out here... Oh, do we actually need to go through? We need to go through here.
Yeah.
To get out there. Yeah. Okay. There are a lot of times where you feel like you want to go back and like outfit your robots and do stuff, but then you haven't found a fast travel point recently enough, and so this is all stuff I've done before, but am now have to do again.
When I streamed the other day, I had to run across the same desert 3 times for various reasons because I couldn't find any fast travel points.
Stuff out there. Your ammo regenerates also. It's not really, you just kind of have to lay off the trigger for a little bit. Yeah. Come on. when I first started playing, it showed me the tooltip for like, hey, here's how you do this mini game thing, and then it immediately disappeared.
Yeah.
In a way that meant I was playing the game without quite knowing how to do this.
I had the exact same experience.
And that was frustrating.
You're in luck because those tooltips will randomly start popping up again later in the game.
Great.
Just like I had dialogue from previous missions trigger again in subsequent missions after those characters were no longer involved in the story.
Well, that sounds broken.
I had mission objectives from the beginning of the game become my objective again when I was in the end game area.
Well, that sounds broken.
Dude, it's just on and on with this game. Like any one of those things individually, not that big a deal. It's easy to overlook, you know, but when it's just stuff like that is happening literally every 5 minutes, and I do mean literally, later on in the game, like there are just so many things that don't quite function like they're supposed to.
Jerks.
Yeah, those guys are invincible, and that's really frustrating.
They're just there to steal your lock on, which is a hassle.
There's the E-Tower. But how do we get there? Through the Warren? You mean the E-Turner refinery? Well, it won't belong to Victor for long. Come on.
I really like all the robots in this game, or at least like the friendly ones.
Yeah, I think
Like
the enemy designs are okay. They're a little like...
Enemies are fine. They look very like modern Transformers movie.
Right, exactly.
To me, all the spiky little like rough looking metal and stuff. But your buddy robots, like not just the vocalizations, but like the animations and the cutscenes and stuff, like they all have a ton of personality for not having dialogue. I thought they were a lot of fun. Like it's a really likable, charming game up front.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And Jules a good character. The stuff going on in the story, which is granted, it's mostly revealed through like audio logs, but that stuff was fairly intriguing.
Yeah, I think they built themselves a good little game, but then it's too little.
Yes.
In some ways,
yes.
And too messy in others.
Yes, it's very messy, and like not to just like describe the entire last like 5 hours of the game, but it just like you slam into the end of this game out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In like an alarming way, and then the way that they pad out the length.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this area kind of sucks. The way they pad out the length of the game for the last 4 or 5 hours is just not good at all.
Where's it gonna put me?
Probably pretty close to there. It's pretty generous with checkpoints. Yeah, it doesn't like make you go back to the fast travel point or anything like that. Because I went through here so many times, I can tell you if you kind of hug the wall over here, you can avoid most of the combat.
There's the E-Tower. But how do we get there?
Let's just run over there.
Through the Warren? You mean the E-Turner refinery? Well, it won't...
Like that giant hand laying on the ground.
Come on.
Out of nowhere.
Hey, what's this?
Yeah, this is basically your first encounter with some of the more annoying enemy types in the game. These guys.
Smash him, Duncan.
Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, the enemies also have, I'm sorry, the enemies, the friends, the companions also have color coding.
Right,
Like
yeah.
the core, not the color of their armor, but the color of their core.
Yeah, so I'm pretty close to unlocking the ability to move those cores into different frames.
Yeah,
so it's like, is a neat idea that I think they could have handled a little better.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing, but yeah, that like almost pretty much every system in this game is a really cool idea. And those 4 colors match against enemy like damage stuff too.
I almost feel like these things got strewn about the environment, like to let you know, like, hey, this is a place you could maybe go.
This is a safe place to walk.
Because early on, they're peppered all over the environment, almost to say like, hey, you can get up here.
And that was one of my earliest experiences with all the jank in this game. Was in that first major area, like there's plenty of spots that look like you should totally be able to platform your way around, and they're either radiation spots or they have no collision on them, and you just fall through them. That's a fast travel, straight ahead. I think, no, it's not. I made that mistake on my stream, but you're close to one.
So I kind of want to complete. Damn it. There we go. One of the hunting challenges right now is destroy robots with yellow lethal attacks. So you'll get blueprints for doing those challenges.
Up there. That must be the entrance.
Okay. So looks like I got to use both here, right?
Yes.
Let's go. Come on, Duncan. Smash that.
Oh, whew. Okay, now we take this one back to do this.
To me, Duncan, take it out.
Okay, now we do this. Oh shit!
Yep.
Fuck!
Yep.
God!
Yep. That's what happened to me on multiple occasions. Burning. Burning.
Yeah. If it starts us on the other side of the sand, we're gonna stop playing this game.
Oh no. I believe it does. No, the checkpoint might be right around here.
But yeah, it's got indoor areas, and you know, maybe we could just run to one of the early.
Yeah, we could look at one of the
early side dungeons.
The side dungeons, if not the story one.
Okay. Well, it starts here, so let's give this another shot.
Just avoid that combat.
Take it out.
I want to say you don't have to switch back to the spider when you have to grapple. I think that'll happen automatically.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to like do it on the fly.
No. Got a picture
Oh,
of the spider.
you're totally right.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh.
Smash that, Duncan.
That time the prompts didn't even show
Yeah,
up.
it's like when you missed that grapple over there a minute ago. Like it can be a little dodgy about not snapping to that stuff
Come on, Duncan.
in midair. Yeah, sure.
Fucking what the fuck?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
What even happened there?
Didn't say prompt. It's like it's like you have to be, the camera has to be facing the track enough to make the prompt show up or something like that.
That sucks.
Yep.
That just sucks.
Yes. What you have just experienced in the last 5 minutes is a mere taste of what happens in this game later on.
In terms of just like
in terms
it
of
being
it,
really inconsistent.
in terms of it
yeah.
not working the way that it should.
Or I mean, even not working the way it has worked up until this point.
That's exactly what I mean.
That's
It gets worse.
all right. Well,
than that.
Let's try it one more time, and I'll try to deliberately get the fucking center of that track in frame.
That was the most reliable way I found to get that to work.
Duncan, over here. Back to me.
No, fuck.
Come on.
No, no.
Come on, Duncan. Take it out.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Come to me.
There it is. Yes, okay. All right, there's a fast travel point right up here somewhere. There it is.
Okay. Oh, and there are audio logs
Panic I
also.
was worried about. It's happening, Jewel.
Yeah, that's where
Worse than us.
almost 90% of the storytelling is. There are a few cutscenes in here,
Dust Devil's mutation
and like
has
2
increased,
characters
changing
that are
too
barely
fast for
developed.
folks to keep up. The Band-Aid is starting to shut down facilities, and the staff members are all scrambling.
Oh, so to
make
even
sure
get this
they've got
open, I need
seats
to find
on the
2 more.
evacuation ships.
Yeah, but they're right here.
Oh, okay.
They're like within 20 seconds of here or something.
Okay.
Jewel, when your team left Earth,
But some of those, yeah, like we were saying earlier, some of those optional dungeons also have those little battery bots that you have to find, and in a couple cases I never found enough to open the dungeons,
fight, not run away.
which is extremely
That's
frustrating.
what I told them right before they shut down my lab.
Another audio log.
You know, there have been barely any audio logs in the game up until this point, and I was watching you play this
Yeah.
segment yesterday, and it just seemed like you were running past audio logs left and right.
There are a
All
lot
of a sudden,
right
they were
here.
like, "Oh, we better get the story out."
Yes, that is, I wasn't gonna say it, but that is 100% what's going on here. They're like, we gotta get the important storytelling done as fast as we can.
It's a bummer.
This last one.
Surprise.
Even then, I didn't find a lot of them from like the 2 primary audio log characters that you want to hear from.
Right.
I missed about half of those. And a lot of them are in the side dungeons and stuff. You kind of have to go looking for them. Even as bare bones as the storytelling is, it goes some interesting places. Like there are some cool ideas and some unexpected twists in there.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow.
So this is not the minimum number of cores you could have at this point. Like I have done side things and found actually like kind of a like I feel like I've been going out of my way to do side stuff as I've gotten up to this point.
Okay. For whatever reason, I am like obsessive about that stuff, and I had enough, like barely enough cores to get in here when I got here in the course of the story.
Dang it.
I didn't hit this
Not
until the end of
enough
the
course.
game. Holy shit.
All right, that's ReCore.
Check the map. Like, let's at least give people an idea of like what you would need to do to go make that deficit up.
Okay, so these dungeons will have some in there. I've got
found
one of two out of there.
You were nowhere near high enough level to go in that
Yeah, I
dungeon
can't go
right
in
now.
that one. There's one right here,
Yeah, so there's-
which I couldn't figure out how to actually get to. There's one over here.
I never found that one you were just over. I found
this one
that
here?
one. Yeah, I never figured
You
out.
did
how to
find
do
this one?
That one and the 2 above it, a little bit higher.
Okay.
Like on the other side of that.
Well,
machine.
let's warp here and maybe see if we can.
Also, there's that combat dungeon there. See what level that is. Okay, you could get 2 out of there.
Yeah.
There's. Let's see. You've got one of the 2 there.
Yeah. And so you need to do side stuff. Like basically like the traversal dungeons, you need to complete them quickly. There's side objectives in the side dungeons.
Oh, there's a ton. Go back to the starting area where your crawler is.
Yeah.
All
There's a
I
ton
believe-
here, but like this one I need the flyer to get to. I
okay,
think.
yeah, but I think all 3 of those others are just ape ones. Like as soon as you have the ape frame,
okay.
you can just
go
get
back
those.
And get those. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's one here that I spent time looking for and never found.
Yeah, you could go in there. That's an easy dungeon. It's probably worth showing what the side dungeons look like if you want to.
Yeah.
That's a quote adventure dungeon, so that one has
Okay.
puzzles in it.
So you
and
think
stuff.
this is the one I should go to, or this one?
That's a super janky area.
Yeah.
I would not get, and that dungeon right next to it is too high level, so I would say probably that.
Probably this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't actually warp there. I need to go back
You need to
I need
stand
to go
on
to the
the-
fast travel point. Right. Of course.
And all this zipping around is, you know what? On the PC, my load times off an SSD were so short
Pilot,
that
I got places to go.
it was actually faster than finding one of those pads right here. I would just
Go back to the
warp
crawler.
back to the
yeah.
crawler and fast travel from there, and it was
Yeah.
actually faster. But on the Xbox, that is not an option because the load times are so crazy. Yeah, if you found this annoying just now, like slamming up against this dungeon and not being able to progress the story without going back and doing this, I wonder if you will ever finish this game.
Yeah, it sounds like the end game is that over and over again.
It is that, like, to an extreme.
That's really disappointing.
Yeah. Like you'll have to go back and do practically every side dungeon.
Which I feel like they just aren't great at like exposing the side stuff and like, you know, pointing you in the direction of the cool shit.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of...
They'll mark it on your map and give you a little notification when you get close enough to it, but you do have to run around the map until that happens.
So the dungeon's gonna be over this way, I guess. Is it down in there?
Which one?
The one I'm trying to get, this thing?
Oh, you've been there. I thought.
I have been
you
there.
were talking
You're
about
right.
the Brood Hive. That's down in the map below you.
Ah, shit.
I wasn't clear where you were trying to go.
Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, you can just run in the... Yep. Now you're learning. Now you're playing ReCore. There's so many cool things in this game. It's so busted. Yeah, you might as well see if you can craft while you're here.
Nope.
Yeah, like I said, ape parts all consistently very hard to come by.
What's up, Violet?
Although I ended up putting the Duncan core in the flyer frame that you're about to get, and that ended up being more effective somehow. Yeah. I like the fast travel robot.
Yeah.
I think that was consistently entertaining every time that thing would pop up and salute.
Even just a compass that said, hey, you're moving southwest.
Yeah.
Just so I can...
Anything.
I can know.
Anything that would prevent you from having to go back and forth from
Or the ability to like
map.
put a waypoint down on the minimap
yes,
and get pointed in that direction would be nice as well.
It needs waypoints and an on-screen minimap desperately.
There's a core up here, but I haven't found all the... It's just sitting in a locked up thing.
Yeah.
I haven't found all of the robots to open it.
That one needs 6, and I found 1.
Oh, I found more than that. I found 4, I think.
Oh, really? I didn't really spend a lot of time looking for it, but it just seemed like a lot of work for one core. When they're late game, there are easier ways to get them. Which is good, because you will need a lot of them.
Right.
I can tell you how many if you want to know, but...
Okay, so we're gonna head around this thing and then go straight. Oh, hey, nice.
Look how much damage he does.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah, he's really fucking that shit up. Okay. So, okay. I think I'm heading in the right direction. I've not been to this dungeon. I didn't even notice it.
I think I did it when I found it, and that's part of the reason I had enough cores when I got to that later dungeon. It might be below you? The map? Yeah, I think it's down in here. Like right.
Okay, I was wondering why
Yes.
this area was here.
Yes, here it is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like the map doesn't even indicate height on stuff, so you never know if it's above or below you or whatever. You know, on the surface, I don't mind like a Mario 64 style, like you need this many stars to get in.
Right, yeah.
It can be fun when it's managed well, but like the game does not dole that stuff out in a way that you will consistently have enough to do even the story stuff as you're moving through it. Same with the leveling stuff. Like I diligently did side stuff. I did a little grinding here and there. I was still like 3 levels below the last dungeon when I beat the game.
Yeah.
Like that stuff isn't balanced well either.
Oh, so they give you secondary objectives for these ones too.
Oh, have you not done these?
No.
Yeah, so if you
I've done traversal dungeons and tried an arena dungeon.
they all have the same. In fact, they literally all have the same 3 objectives. It's a time limit, finding that yellow key, and hitting the 8 switches. I think you may just passed one.
One of the switches?
Yeah. Oh, I saw one in here behind you. Yep.
Oh.
Right there. Must be red. So yeah, all these side dungeons end in the exact same scenario, which is like there are 3 locked doors, and each of those 3 objectives you complete will open one of those doors. But what's behind the doors varies by dungeon. Sometimes it's a prismatic core, sometimes it's a treasure chest, sometimes it's a health upgrade. And if you do all 3 of them in the same run, I think it said at the beginning, you'll unlock a 4th treasure chest, which has good stuff in it, like unique blueprints. But I only did all 3 objectives in one run like twice in the entire game. It's not easy. But you're pretty much guaranteed like 2 cores just for finishing one of these dungeons. So.
Okay, I was hoping that I couldn't have just run away from that
Yeah.
at any point. I wasn't just wasting my time.
How's the colorblind stuff in this?
So the switches are the one thing that like I kind of have to think about a little bit. But though even the switches up close, you see they have the arrow on them.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay.
So
That's
the arrow
cool.
corresponds to the D-pad direction.
I noticed like your buddy's health bars up there have the same thing.
Yeah, anytime they show a color, they put that arrow there.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
That's actually been, so it's been pretty much fine.
These aren't good.
Actually, I'm gonna check in the options. I'd swear I saw some kind of colorblind toggle in there as well. Might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I saw one. Yeah.
Under gameplay? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like I looked for one at one point. Anyway. Chests in here.
Better be good.
Okay.
That E-turner.
E-turner. That's just money.
Yes. Although, like, all you do is spend it on upgrades,
Right.
or like you spend it on crafting. Like crafting not only has a material cost, but an E-turner cost, and that's all you use it for.
Yeah.
Almost as if like maybe they were gonna have some kind of like vendor system that never materialized.
Yeah, you wonder. You know, it's.
It's the weirdest thing talking about this game. I don't want to be one of those assholes who's just like, I know they didn't finish this game and they just shipped it anyway or whatever, but like, there are so many signs in this that it feels like, okay, maybe that's a better way to put it. It feels like.
Yeah.
Rather
it
than
feels
saying,
like it's missing the back
yes,
third of the game.
Yes, it feels like it's missing huge parts of story and like things just don't fit together in a way that makes sense. Things have an appearance that like they were designed for really grander ambitions that didn't quite get fulfilled.
Right.
Because I don't know the first thing about the actual development of this game and how it went. All I know is what I played, and it doesn't feel like it's all put together all the way.
Okay, so is this gonna lower these platforms? What are we doing here? Oh, I just stepped on it, missed that, huh? Okay. Oh right, these centipede guys. I haven't seen those in hours.
Those are kind of cool.
I feel like that's the second one I've seen in the entire game.
They throw them at you pretty consistently later. But they're just straight up Mario. They're like constructs. Like there's a fair amount of like small influence, like small signs of influence from Mario and Zelda in this game.
Yeah.
I was going back, I watched the announcement trailer for this game right before we came in here, and like, the way they build this thing when they announced it, like there's this very dramatic title at the beginning. It's like from Keiji Inafune and the creators of Metroid Prime.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like there's all this kind of gravity to the creation of this game that they gave to it.
Weird.
And just like so little of that is fulfilled in the final product.
Yeah, I mean, do you see much Metroid in here?
Yeah, totally.
The lock-on stuff.
Yeah, the lock-on
maybe.
stuff, like the way the abilities gate your progress through the world and what you have access to. There's a fair amount of that stuff. Oh, that's gonna pop.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go.
Shit. Fuck.
You gotta go. You know, I remember this being a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make that edit. Alright, well, whatever. This is what the dungeons look like.
Yeah.
There's stuff in them.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, there are a lot of cool ideas in this game. I wish that it was just better.
Yeah. Occasionally you see
What do we hear?
kind of some flashes of the brilliance that this thing could achieve.
Yeah.
Some of the platforming toward the end of the game, like in the last dungeon area, is extremely clever. Like some really creative uses of like just ways to manipulate platforms.
Yeah.
That's very challenging and really satisfying.
That's cool. I don't know. I'll maybe stick with it. I feel like I'm most of the way through the game now at this point.
You are.
But
Yeah, I would really like to hear what you think about it after you finish it, because like my opinion changed drastically in the last like 5 hours.
yeah, mine has soured on it over the last couple of hours of me playing it. So I really liked it out of the gate. I was really hopeful. I was like, man, this is actually like kind of amazing. Like, wow.
It starts so cool and has so many cool systems and stuff in it.
But yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it pans out.
Tread cautiously. It's only $40. That kind of softens.
I might wait for a patch at this point, though.
Yeah.
See what they fix, because there's some falling through the world stuff and some other business that happens along the way that's a real hassle too.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks, Brad.
Yep.